Good morning, America! Welcome to another Steak with Your Chest podcast. If you woke up on the right side of the dirt this morning, let me get 2 chest beats and Ric Flair. Woo! Yeah, today's gonna be another good day. We have some good things to talk about today, man. First, let's introduce ourselves. This your boy, Chest Out Rudy, a.k.a. Haitian Sensation, a.k.a. Haitian Fresh, G.I. Joe, but just call me Chest Out Rudy.
It's your boy Chest Out Corey, a.k.a. Commercial Corey, Mr. Walking Billboard, Chest Out.
It's your boy Jay Daniels, a.k.a. Black Buddha, a.k.a. Mr. Lightskin, a.k.a. Tell your mama to stop calling my phone.
Yes, Lord.
What?
Oh boy, I thought my AK was a killer. I thought I was coming with the shebang bang. My boy said light skin. You should have been here for that conversation, light skin versus dark skin.
Oh yeah.
Yes, sir. Boy, yeah, I think you might have the winner.
Nah.
Haitian Sensation was the first one.
Hey, but if you guys saw the last episode, we got my boy Jordan over here. But a lot of our listeners want to know who you are. So let's introduce yourself real quick, man.
Okay. Who am I? Well, that is a complex question. I do a lot of things. So first of all, I am a full-time firefighter paramedic. I'm also a lifestyle/wellness coach. I get people on the right path to the better version of themselves. And with that, I am the creator of the brand Health, Mind, Body, Life, a.k.a. HMBL. You can find me on Instagram at HMBL_fitness. And I'm also a vlogger. It's actually a new thing I'm doing, which, I mean, you were a part of the very first episode of HMBL TV.
Yeah.
So I've been doing some vlogging/blogging. I got humblefitness.blog online. You can go and check that out as well. That's just a little bit about what I do.
Okay.
And must I say that was a dope interview. Great interview.
I also like, long walks on the beach and like beer and stuff like that.
All right.
Hey, so that's Jordan, man. So he's gonna be joining us for our podcast. But first, let's talk about what's going on, what's happening. So, have you guys heard of what's going on in Nigeria?
I'm hearing some things about Nigeria.
Yeah. I mean, I woke up a couple days ago and I'm like going through my social media and I'm like seeing all this stuff like pray for Nigeria and people like, saying that there's issues going on there. So I'm like, damn, what's going on? So I called a friend of mine who's from Nigeria, and he told me the issue that's going on in Nigeria is police brutality. I was like, damn. So that's like the same thing that we're dealing with right here in the United States. Yep, I didn't know that, Nigeria was dealing with police brutality as well. And basically what it is, it's a group that was started up in 1984.
Wow.
To basically police and try to help with a robbery called SARS. Can you tell me what that
was the Special Anti-Robbery Squad is what the
Special
SARS
Anti-Robbery Squad that they set up. And initially it was doing good, but more recently they've been doing a lot of things and executing people and capturing people and brutalizing them and it's crazy, man. Like
very
sad.
It's crazy. And what's been going on is we've been having protests here about police brutality. They've been having a lot of protests there, and it was sparked really by a video that someone caught one of those officers actually killing a young person. And so that video went viral in Nigeria. And what the police did, they actually arrested the guy that actually took the video.
What?
Yeah, they arrested the guy that took the video because they said that he was creating an unrest. So he's sparking an unrest in the country.
So that's how they chalked it up. Like that's their reason for arresting him, was creating a disturbance.
He's creating a disturbance because now everybody's seeing this. They're seeing the side of these cops and how brutal they can be. and people are protesting. They're protesting how unfair police is in that country, and now it's almost, I would say it's like is 10 times worse than what we were dealing with our issues, and as far as brutality and protests. It's crazy what's going on.
But just being inquisitive, was he able to stop the crime? I mean, stop the killing in progress?
No, the guy died. He died. And
so what was the camera guy supposed to do?
Not record it. According to them, or
that's what we do every day.
Or not post it.
Or not post it. Yes.
Somebody recorded the George Floyd situation. There's different laws.
I want to know what the laws in Nigeria are for how they're able to justify arresting him. You know, because it's a whole different country. You know.
Well, one thing I can tell you is
different statutes.
One thing I can tell you is that they're a lot more stringent and strict on things like that. Like we have certain freedoms that you know that we can count on, but there's other parts of the world don't necessarily have that kind of stuff. You know, so it's I mean
that's a touchy situation.
But had he not been there, we would have never known, because I mean this would have been something that's been swept under the rug. Much like the situation that's happening here with all the police brutality and killing that's been going on. If somebody wasn't there with a camera, then we would never know.
The power of the internet, man.
Yeah, man.
It's serious.
What is the answer?
The answer,
like, what is the answer to the police brutality? How do we here in America? I can't speak for Nigeria, but here in America, what's the path we take?
Man, I think if we knew what the path was, we probably would have, done that a long time ago. And right now, it's just trying to feel our way and find good solutions to everything that's been going on. And another thing that's been in the news that's been dealing with that kind of same situation is Ice Cube, obviously, right? Has been in the news. But what were you going to say?
Well, I'm saying we need to go out and vote.
Exactly.
November 3rd, go out and vote, and you can do early voting October 19th.
Exactly.
Okay. Let's dive into that real quick, if y'all don't mind, because that is, we've been hearing that for the longest, right? That's
imperative. It's very imperative.
So let's dive into that a little bit more, because I've always heard go out and vote, go out and vote, go out and vote. Okay, cool, right? Go out and vote, but we've been voting for a long time,
right?
Police brutality has been going on for a long time. Nothing's changed, right? I have 2 points here. First point is, I don't think that enough of us realize the power in our vote, right? Because we get just so distracted with the presidential campaign, right?
Yes.
But that's the federal government. Federal government, let's be real, ain't gonna change much in me and your life. Does that make sense? I'm not saying that they don't do anything, right? But your local vote is more important.
And that's where most people don't vote, because they'll see the big primaries and federal vote, and they'll vote for the president and vice president and stuff like that. But the things that really matter are things that are going local.
Exactly.
Right?
Exactly.
But I heard this the other day. Is like, why are we like trusting like old white men to know about issues that we're dealing with? Like, for one, they don't know. They're way past their prime. Like, they don't know what the issues are with us or people in this age range. I don't think so.
Well, Joe Biden is 78, and Trump is 74.
Exactly.
That's completely out of reach.
Like, we need more representation, not just and I'm not just saying color wise. I'm talking about age wise too. We don't need necessarily, it's not all about just color, but we do need like younger people in the White House that know what's going on in the world today. I
From
think.
ground up.
Yeah, I get what you're trying to say.
But
it's I agree with that to a certain extent, but the president can't change these things. Like, I mean, he can make changes, but it's not on him to make the change. Locally, like your judges, who you elect for sheriff, those are the people who can actually tangibly make some adjustments in this arena.
And that's why when me and my wife sat down and we actually did our ballots early, before early voting, we did our ballots when they first came out, when they sent them to the House. It's imperative that we understand who we are voting for.
Exactly.
Yep.
It's imperative that we sit down and we research everybody that's on that ballot.
Yep.
But you know what it is people are fine, or they're fine with other people doing the research for them. They're not going out and doing it for themselves. So they'll hear something and they'll take it as fact.
Or most people are stuck on the president and the vice president. Mm-hmm. Everything else doesn't even matter.
Exactly.
Very true. And all the distractions that come with that.
Exactly. So they'll Christmas tree the whole ballot and make sure they're voting for the right person.
Exactly. But switching notes a little bit, I know Ice Cube has been in the news recently.
Let me chime in on this.
Hey, I'll let you chime in on it. But go ahead, Corey.
So Ice Cube on October 13 caught a lot of flack, right? On October 13, this female named Katrina Pearson tweeted a shout out to Ice Cube. And
for people who don't know, who is Katrina?
Katrina is an American Tea Party activist and communications consultant. She was a national spokesperson for Donald Trump 2016 presidential campaign.
And I'm sure a lot of people know who she was.
Yes. So basically, she was thanking him for the president development plan, the platinum plan. So with that being said, Ice Cube had no idea this was even going on.
But see, that's what they'll do. They'll do something like that just to make people that follow him or idolizes him to try to get their vote. So, Ice Cube did this, he signed this, so we must be good. So you can vote for us.
So you think she did that on purpose?
Yeah, of course.
Just to get everybody stirred up?
Just to do it on purpose. Come on, man.
But see, Ice Cube came back, and I got to read this quote from Ice Cube, right? So we could talk about the matter at hand. So Ice Cube did this thing that he was trying to write up for the community. So he did a 2-page campaign promise to increase access to capital in black communities for almost $500 billion. So he's trying to bridge that gap in black wealth. So they went back and forth, Cube in the White House, and said Ice Cube's biggest push was to get Trump to commit to $500 billion investment. That's huge. But see, what we don't understand and what we fail to see is that regardless if you like it or not, someone's going to be elected, right? Yes. Yeah, somebody's got to be
either
elected.
Side.
Yes.
Someone's going to be elected.
Somebody's got to win, people.
So why is it not a better thing to do to like go to each side right now and try to get this thing and this is for us, man.
Yes,
this is for us.
Yes.
This is money that's going to black owned businesses, black banks.
But let's understand something too at hand. Ice Cube wrote this back in August. Both parties reached out to Ice Cube. They wanted to understand what did he think on the plan. What would he do for this plan? In August, the Republican Party, the Democrat Party, Ice Cube said, I'm independent. I'm not for either side, for the lesser evil, right? So what Ice Cube did, Ice Cube said, okay, Trump, what is your party going to do? I need this XYZ. He asked, and Trump said straight up, we can make this happen. Then he went to Biden, and Biden said, I can't do nothing till November 3rd.
Talk to you after the election.
After the election. I don't want to make no false promises.
Exactly.
So guess what Ice Cube did?
Go to whoever is going to sit there and listen to what he has to say right now. And I have no issues, no problem with that at all.
The world has an issue. Well, not the world, but the black community has an issue with Ice Cube right now, which it doesn't make any sense to me because it's like Corey said before, like this is, or maybe you said this is for us,
yes.
right? And the bigger picture is we need financial literacy. We need financial education in our communities, right? Like that's what the plan is about altogether. And everybody likes to get so caught up in the left, the right, the drama, he said this, and this person is this and this, like all of this silly stuff. And at the end of the day, what really matters, if we're gonna fix anything, police brutality, anything in the black community, we need to get our paper up. I mean,
which is facts. Because you got to remember something too as well. Ice Cube said the Asians are doing it, bridging the gap. He said Caucasians are doing it, Jewish people are doing it, bridging the gap. We are the only culture that's not trying to push each other forward.
Not exactly. It's like we're crabs in a barrel for one.
Exactly.
Right? But we a lot of us just don't know. Like that's what it takes. We can't rely on the president or somebody else to fix our communities. We have to rely on ourselves to do such. And how do you do that? You gotta pay to play. You know what I mean?
Man, we can go on and on
and we can
on
do
about
that,
this
a whole
all
podcast about
day.
that.
But that's what's happening, man. That's what's happening in the world today. What's happening in the United States. I mean, it's crazy. But
so I want to say this before we jump off topic.
Okay.
If you think Ice Cube was right or wrong, comment.
Let's hear from you guys.
Yes.
All right.
What you think? What's your thoughts?
Let's hear.
On a more positive note, I don't know if is positive the word. Maybe that's not the word. I don't know.
It's a no.
All right. So switching gears here. All right. Switching the subject a little bit, right? There's these two words, right? Very small words, very simple words, but they have a lot of power. And I want to get y'all's thoughts on these two words, okay? The power in saying no and the power in saying yes. What do you think about those two words?
In my opinion, I would say that saying no probably has a little bit more power than saying yes.
Oh, okay.
Hands down.
Tell me more.
Because I'm like, especially back in the day, I would always say yes to a lot of things, and
you don't know how to say no. Just when.
Yeah, it's that's how I was, man. But I kind of been transitioning into trying to say no a little bit more. But what I found is that saying yes or not being able to say no, it kind of spreads yourself thin. And I think that a lot of time it can be because you don't really value yourself or your time, or because you're valuing other people's times and things of that nature more than you value yours. And sometimes you can have plans that you're doing, but then someone asks you to do something, and instead of saying no or giving them a good legitimate reason why you can't, you're trying to please them by saying yes, or not trying to upset them by saying no. And that I found a lot with me back in the day. I would always, say yes just because I didn't want to hurt their feelings or whatever. So I end up doing a lot of things that I could have just said no to.
I think we're a little different, but you spot on. And let me echo a little bit. Growing up, I always said yes. It was always a thing with me. The word no wasn't even in my dictionary, my vocabulary. The word no wasn't in my vocabulary. And let me see why. I wanted to please everybody. I wanted to make everybody happy. And I was always the most popular guy on campus. I was always the coolest guy on campus. But at the same time, I wanted to bless everybody.
Commercial fresh.
I don't know about that.
I was always the freshest person. And let me take it back to back in the days. I got best dressed, buddy.
Okay.
Hey,
I don't know what school you went to.
Hey, remember those guys back in the days? Hey, man, remember I played football back in 1988?
What was y'all wearing, hammer pants or something?
Okay. But anyways, but the power of saying yes, man, is a powerful thing, and I think it's good and bad. It has its perks. But my thing is, I had to realize my time was very valuable. I had to realize the importance. I had to realize my self-value.
Yeah.
So with that being said, I got to a point, man, I had to flip the script on people, because I do a lot I made a lot of deposits because I took for so many years from people, man, like from my parents, aunts, relatives. And I got to a point, man, I just said, you know what? I'm gonna flip the table.
Okay. So was that around the time? This is what it sounds like you're saying to me. You found your purpose.
I found my purpose.
Same with you, right? Rudy, is that you found your purpose? You realized, okay, I need to transition from giving my time away from my purpose to other people. I need to give more time to my purpose.
Because the more you give your time to other people, the less they value your time.
No, the more they want.
Well, no, they want more, but then they value your time less. Because if he did it for me now, he can do it now. I can call him 2 months down the line or whatever. I'll ask him again. He'll do it again. So they don't value what you have going on.
So if you're always available, you are less valuable.
Exactly.
And
then they're going to ask you more because obviously, they want something from you.
The only time they call on you is when they want something. That's the only time they call you. Yeah. And I remember growing up with my dad, man, and being in college, and I would never call home until I wanted something. And I'm like, you my pops, you supposed to know that I need something, or I need groceries, I need some clothes on my back, I need this. He's like, no, son, listen, you're 18 now. And I don't have to do it on your own. Yeah, you're a grown man now. You're a grown man. You can take care of yourself now.
Okay. All right. So finding your purpose is power in saying no. Mm-hmm. But what about the flip side? All right. What about the power that is there? I know y'all both said essentially y'all was people pleasers on, growing up, and that's just the way you looked at it, right? But now, right, you found your purpose. What's the power in saying yes to things? My thoughts on it are exposure, right? For example, you hit me up and you asked me if I want to be on the podcast. I could have said no, because and my reason would be, oh, well, I'm nervous, or I don't want to expose myself to the world, or my opinions, like nobody wants to hear. I could have came up with all these different reasons on why, but exposure is, instead of looking at it like, okay, I'm going to say no and run away from it, why don't I just put myself right out in front of it and say yes?
Well, with that, you have to see the opportunity in the things that you're being asked to do. Like, there's opportunities in saying yes to certain things. Mm-hmm. So if it's going to benefit you in some kind of way, saying yes is not a problem at all. Like, you have to put yourself out there to reap some of the benefits of things that you probably would not have even thought of. So there's definitely power in that, so I look at it that way. But as far as saying no, I think saying no is more so a personal thing, as far as just being just caring and knowing that your value is worth something.
And Jordan, Jordan, I want you to remember this too as well. And you probably had the feelings of being nervous and stuff like that, but
still in. What you mean?
And if your dreams doesn't scare you, your dream is not big enough. Just remember that.
Okay.
Just remember that.
I like that. I'm gonna take that with me.
Anything worth having is gonna be difficult. So you have to make yourself uncomfortable to be comfortable down the line. So a lot of times we don't want to feel that. We don't want to put ourselves through that uncomfortability state.
Is that a word?
I just made it up.
You just made.
I just made it up. Chest out dictionary right there.
Yeah, you just completely messed that up, bro. I don't know what that was.
Hey, it sounded good.
It sounded good. And you went to You Can't Finish. You went to UCF.
Hey, I'm gonna look it up. I'm gonna look it up later. I'm pretty sure it's a word.
Boy, I can't. I know your brother with Socrates. Socrates. His brother just got placed in the Hall of Fame. Socrates.
Hey,
we're gonna get on your brother. Hey, we're gonna get on Rudy about that.
But yeah, so
that's funny.
That's my perspective on it, man. So,
no, I like it.
Yeah, but like, I can remember several occasions back in the day when people would ask me to do things. Like, I work out, so everybody can see I work out, right?
I can't
right,
see it.
right. Y'all,
I can't
y'all know
see
that
it.
I work
Oh
out.
boy, he's so conceited.
You should have seen the inflation.
We should
he
call
was
him Mr.
doing.
Walking Billboard, right?
So just because I work
Pumping his
out,
muscles up.
just because I work out, don't mean
You a trainer?
no. Just because I work out, don't mean I want to sit there and lift your furniture all day for you. So don't be asking me to help you move. Like in college, all the time
Hey,
people
you
would
can ask me to help you move
because
if
you know
anybody-
how college works. You're in the either you're in the dorms or you're in off campus housing. So people are moving all the time. So me
Just got to pay me enough.
yeah. So they see me, they're like, "Oh, Rudy will help me." And even though I had things to do, or I might have wanted to go to the gym, or maybe I just came from the gym and I was tired, I would still say yes.
Did you ask for a fee?
I probably should have.
I never
That's
got
where you messed
offended.
up at.
I never got offended when they asked me to be a stripper
All right,
because
hold
of my
on.
body.
All right.
Because of my body.
All right.
What?
Listen,
What?
I say call me Little Magic Mike.
I don't know what road we're going down
Hey,
here, bro.
if you pay me,
I don't know.
I'm coming to dance. I'm coming to dance.
Little who?
America,
Hey.
America. I don't know what Corey's talking about.
Hey man, that was a joke. That was a joke.
I better not Google Little Magic Mike if see Corey
Hey.
faces.
You gonna see me with some chest out on?
No, stop.
But I think saying no is like rejection of people.
It is.
And let me tell you, and let me say this. If I tell you no, that no is for a reason. That no is definitely for a reason. That no is to help you grow. Because you got certain individuals that don't know how to stop asking for stuff. I tell them, get your hand out my pocket. Stop watching me. Stop seeing what
Asking
I'm doing.
me for money.
Listen, man, I'm not going to talk about it, man. But at the end of the day, I would pay it forward because I had people that was helping me grow up. And, okay, let's say this. I had a homeboy, and I'm not going to call his real name, right? And this is the power of saying yes.
Little Magic Mike was his
Yeah,
name,
yeah. This is the power of saying yes. I had a homeboy say, hey, man, you all right? You good? And I'm 21 at the time. I'm a jet. I'm fresh on the job, and I'm working. I'm working my overtime. But every check I get, I'm taking it straight to the mall. I'm going to Express. I'm going here. I'm going there, buying things. And I went to him. I said, you know what? I say, bro. I said, I need some change, man. I said, can you help me out? My brother, and he know who I'm talking about, reached in his pocket, grabbed $500, 5 $100 crispy bills, and gave it to me. I said, bro, I'll give it back to you next check. He said, listen, don't worry about it right now. When you get it, you can give it back to me. But get back on your feet, because you can't do anything until you get yourself on your feet, because you be digging yourself back in the hole trying to pay me back. He said, so this is what I want you to do. I want you to take these $500, do what you have to do. But from now on, he set me down and gave me game too as well. Take 10% of your money, save it. All the overtime that you're working, put that money up. And I did just that.
Yeah, sometimes you gotta get advice and get stuff like that from people that already been through it, man.
So that's
they'll
why
be able to help you out.
So that's why I've been trying to pay it forward with so many people, because I had individuals in my life like that.
So what you originally, I didn't mean to cut you off, Rudy. Go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say. Now I got this question. So, do you think the people that find it hard to say no are the same people that basically find it hard to ask for help?
Ooh.
Oh, that's a good one.
I don't know. I got to think on that for a minute. I mean, I think it could be, what's the word? Subjective, depending on the person. But yeah, like.
Because I know how I am. I know exactly how I am. Like, I can basically, I'll say yes to a lot of things and I'll help people out. Like, I can give you advice. I can do all this other stuff for you. But then I find it hard to go to someone to ask for the same thing that they would ask me for. And it's
called pride.
I think it can be ego pride. But that's one of the things that I find it hard for me to do. Like, I always will say, okay, I'll find a way to find a solution. So unless it gets really, really bad or dire, I'll try to figure it out myself. And then if something happens, or if I'm not able to, and then eventually I'll probably go and ask for help. But I usually will try to solve this situation or solve the problem myself first before I do that. What do you think?
Well, let me say this. I shouldn't have to implore anybody to do anything, right? I've been doing so much and so much good by people. I shouldn't have to beg you to do anything for me. And if you flip the tables, a lot of people,
I don't think it's begging people to do something for you. It's just, do you have people that you can go to if you need something?
Okay, let's put it like this here, right? If I've been doing music for the last 20 years, right? And I need to go pass out flyers. And let's get a little dinosaur. Pass out CDs, right? And I'm going to Atlanta. I got 10,000 CDs. I got 10,000 flyers. And you know I'm promoting my music. You know I'm promoting my label, Die Rich Music, right?
Yeah.
For one, I shouldn't have to ask you to do anything for me. Nephews, nieces, cousins, friends, and etc., right? So I'm out here in these streets. I'm posting. Social media is all over the place. I mean, it's a big platform. So you see me out here passing the CDs out and stuff like that. People throwing my CDs in the trash can right in front of you. Just disrespectful. But anyways, so I shouldn't have to go and ask you, Rudy, can you help me pass out CDs? But I'm the type of person, I don't like rejection, so I'm not going to ask you anyway. But when I do ask you, when I ask my nephews, I ask cousins, I ask just different relatives. Oh man, I can't do it this weekend. I could do it next week. Oh, so you call them next week. Hey man, can you do such and such? Now, these are the same people that was in the club with you popping bottles. The same person that was with you at the clothing store that you took care of.
Yep, same person that you were helping out.
Same person I was helping out. So I just feel like I shouldn't have to ask you to do anything because most people know what you're already doing.
Yeah.
Corey, you just said something. You said most people are afraid of rejection. And I think that holds true with people who are people pleasers and people who aren't not afraid to say no. Like, you don't that initial thing. I mean, the more you're told, the more you're rejected, the easier it gets. But initially, I do think to answer your question, Rudy, I think it is like it makes you hesitant to want to ask somebody for help because you're like, well, you can come up with all these reasons in your head, like, oh, well, they probably got this going on, or you know, I could probably figure it out on my own. Let me exhaust myself and figure out how I can do it on my own. Which that's how I am. I want to try to figure it out on my own. If I can't, I will go and make that phone call or you know, whatever. But it is hard in the beginning to just say, I need help with this. Let me go ask for help. You know, yes. The first thing is like, let me just figure it out on my own.
And let me say this, right? Dealing with situations like that, I don't like asking. Once again, I don't like asking anybody for nothing. To me, it's pride. It's pride. Like I
think we have that. We have that in common.
I'm supposed to be the man, the myth, the legend. I'm supposed to be Superman, RoboCop, and
all that.
Yes, yes.
Okay.
Sometimes you got to patch. Sometimes you got to know your self-worth. Sometimes you got to know your value. All right? That's not me bragging. That's not me with ego. That's just who I am. So my wife will ask me, and we do a lot for people. For all my daughter best friends and stuff like that, we make sure we go out there and buy gifts for everybody, right? So I feel like, okay, we are blessed financially, so we can bless these people, right? But everybody's not in that same predicament. So my wife will have all these gifts coming in. She'll hit every person that she did something for, and she'll say, okay, I need gifts from this person, this person, this person. And one thing about my wife, she's good with birthdays.
She's keeping that list.
Oh, man. This week is her mom's birthday, and her mom got a gift every day at the daycare. Now, on the other hand, on the flip side, Corey, are you going to call your family? Corey, are you going to call your family? I'm like, no. I would rather go out there and take $1,000 out of my pocket and just buy all those gifts that they was going to buy instead of me asking my family for money or gifts. Yeah. It's just pride, man.
That's how it is, man. So one of the main things, though, of why some people find it hard to say no is this thing they call FOMO, the fear of missing out. So you fear you scared that you might miss something important or not be part of something big. So a lot of times you'll just say yes just to go with
part
it.
of something.
Yeah.
Well, sometimes you can't be scared to walk away from a situation.
Oh, but I got a good question.
You can't be scared to walk away from people.
Yes, you're right, Corey. But let me ask, based on what you just said about fear of missing out.
Okay.
Do we think social media plays a factor in the fear of missing out?
That's why you always logging back on to see what other people are doing.
Oh yeah, definitely. Definitely 100%.
Okay.
I think so.
This is going to lead down a little bit of a different path. Just real quick, we can talk on it briefly. Have you all been affected negatively from social media ever? Has that ever happened?
Well, okay, so we did have a topic earlier on a few weeks ago about social media.
Okay.
And is it good? Is it a good thing or is it a bad thing? But me personally, I don't think I've been affected negatively by social media because I'm finding opportunities all over the place from social media that I would not have had there not been social media. So social media for me is good. I mean, there's still the negatives out there, but for me personally, I'm taking advantage of opportunities that I find through it.
So let me slide in on this one like Pete Rose.
Slide in.
Like Pete Rose, baby. So I have a family member. Every time they go through something, they reach out to everybody. And as a family as a whole, with 9 siblings on one side and 11 on the other, we have a very big family. So we always, with the family, it's hard for us to say no. So we say yes a lot, especially when people get out of prison, out of jail, in college, need funding, just for different scenarios, right? But this person, every time it doesn't go their way, they would dox everybody on internet. They would go on internet and exploit everything. So once you say no, and most of the time it's about funding.
Well, actually, you know what? Do you think the people that always ask, do you think they have a victim mentality as well?
I think so.
Huh. That's interesting.
And you know what? Every time I speak with certain individuals, and we speaking indirectly, it's always they did this, they did that.
It's always somebody else's fault.
It ain't my fault.
Did I do that?
It
ain't my fault.
And I'm the person that always come to the rescue and say, take that down. Take that down off social media. Because now you're playing that victim mentality.
Yep.
You've been victimized and nobody did anything to you because only thing they can see is the finish line. They can't see what everything, the preparation that your people made for you. All the money your people gave you, everything they did for you, the cars they got you, the cell phones they got you, and just made sure you was taken care of all through high school. But once you get 18, you on your own, you grown.
Yeah.
So there's nothing you can do about that.
I've had moments of like I do like you. I try to take advantage of the opportunity that social media presents, but in times past and even every now and then, you know, social media has affected me negatively, just in the mindset, because you see so many people doing so many things, right? And I got a lot going on in my life as well, but like you see somebody else and it looks like they got it perfect and they got it going this way, and it's like, dang, I'm not doing enough. Like it's just like it's never enough. It's like I'm putting in this effort and it ain't enough. I'm putting in this effort and it's all perception, but it can be toxic. It can be a toxic perception if it's not perceived the right way.
It definitely can, but that's when it actually takes a stronger mentality to know that, okay, whatever they got going on, it's not affecting what's going on here.
Yeah. So
you got to take ownership of what you're doing and try to better whatever it is that's going on in your life, and not, look at other people. And obviously we know that half the things you see on social media is not true in the first place.
And you got to remember, we all born imperfect, and you got to remember something too as well. You should never measure yourself against any man or woman on the face of this earth.
But it happens. So I understand it does happen, and you shouldn't measure yourself against anybody else. But it happens.
Yeah,
it's a bad habit.
today, like we can have this conversation, right? And that mindset that you just mentioned, we can have that, right? But your average teenager getting on social media and seeing perfection, what appears to be perfection. Mm-hmm. I think it's been a reason why there's been an increase in depression and a lot of things that social media, it has caused. I don't think social media is bad though. I think that the beautiful thing about it is you can create the environment that you choose. You can choose who to follow, right? So you can follow a bunch of vegan pages or whatever, comedy, this, that, and the other, right? But if you're choosing to follow things that may be a part of your vice mm-hmm. or something that is not healthy for you specifically, it can turn toxic.
Well, it can.
Well, can I say this? I think I paint a lot of pictures myself. I paint a lot of different Vincent Van Goghs, right? So every picture that I post is almost like a perfect picture. And why I say that, because I show people the finish line instead of showing them my story. And I do have my own narrative, but when it comes to my family or comes to friends or people just out in general that's watching me on social media, I'm showing all this extravagant things.
Yeah, and you've told me about that. Like people have some negative things to say about that as well.
Well, it's not that they would never direct the negative comments towards me, right? It's always somebody come back to me and say, man, they say you posting too much, you doing this and you got all this going on and blah, 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 and etc. But that's not the bad point, because I post for motivational purposes, right? I grew up impoverished, so when I post, it's always something about something that can motivate or push the mountain for somebody else, right? Somebody could be having a bad day, and that's me making my deposit. But the bad thing for me is when you slide in my DMs, and it's almost like instead of you asking me to do something, or you saying you asking how can I help you, it's always what can I do for you. As soon as I say, and I may say yes a couple times, but as soon as I say no, oh man, Corey's changing up on you. Yep. Corey's doing this and Corey's doing that. It's like, come on, man.
Yeah.
I only could do so much for so many people. I got my own family to worry about.
Exactly.
But if I could do something for you, I'll do it for you.
Yeah, just this whole conversation in regards to yes and no and the power in those words. Mm-hmm. I like the path that has led us down and the conversation that we had. I think it's been a very, very healthy topic.
Well, let's say this. Is there a way to say no to someone without feeling like you have to basically like explain yourself?
What they say,
because a lot of times, to me, like when I'm saying no to somebody, it just feels like I'm either it's wrong. I have to come up or try to figure out something to say to them in addition to the no.
You got to do it like those Dare t-shirts from back in the late 90s.
What's that?
Just say no, bro.
Hey. You're right. And it has to be short and to the point. It shouldn't be like a long drawn up thing. Obviously, as politely as you can, but
it's not what you say. It's not what you say. It's how you say it.
Like so why do you want, like, sometimes it's like I can't just say no. That I have to say, okay, I can't because da 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 da. I don't have to explain to you why I can't do it. Should I?
But most people want you to.
Yeah, but it's not up to. It's
why
not up.
You can't help.
Exact. Most people expect it. They expect you. Okay, you said no, so why?
Listen,
but I shouldn't have to tell you why I can't do it.
I
just can't.
I don't think you have to. I don't think you have to.
You don't have to. But I think people expect it. Like if somebody asks you to do something, oh hey, can you come and help me with my car, or can you come and help me take me to this place, wherever it's at? You can't. Do you feel like a no is enough?
Just like
well,
nah.
Sorry, I can't.
Because I said yes for so many years. And
is it a text message?
Because I said yes for so many years, people feel like they're entitled to my yes.
Exactly.
It's like it's entitlement.
So now they take advantage of your kindness,
of your success.
You have to be
who
tactful. You have to be tactful with it. It's all dependent on what the actual question is or what exactly is going on. But you have to be tactful with your response to said individual.
Yeah, I agree.
Well, I had this one situation, and let me just say this real quick.
Okay.
And this one person, young people, this young generation, know how to go out here and find you a mentor or find somebody that you want to pick their brain. Because I have a lot of people that slides in my DM that wants to pick my brain. Learn how to learn some etiquette. Learn how to sit down with somebody. If I want Rudy to show me how to train, if I want Rudy to show me how to be some business savvy, to create some type of synergy, I should invite Rudy out to lunch. Rudy, do you want to go out to lunch? I want to sit you down and pick your brain, and I want you to explain how do I get to that next level?
And pay for it, bro.
But exactly, don't just expect to get something
for nothing.
For nothing. Like I do workout programs. I do meal plans. My services are not free. So don't expect to just DM me and then ask me to, hey, I need this. I can, and I do. Like if it's something simple, I will, and I'll tell you what to do.
Something quick.
Something quick, because I'm a decent guy.
He's all right. He's all right.
I'm all right.
He's all right.
So I mean, I get that, but if you're gonna be asking me over and over, okay, I helped you with this. Now you want me to help you with that. Now you want me to help. That's like a whole plan that I'm giving you right now. It's not free. It's time that I have to put into it to make it specific to you, whatever it is. So if you're gonna take, like Corey says, if you're gonna ask him for something or whatever, take him out to dinner or whatever, you pay for it. That could, something simple like that
can open up the door for a lot of things. It's something so simple.
Yes. Exactly. So
going to Chipotle, $13, bro.
and the crazy thing about it, I remember, and I know Dale remember these names. DJ Strong, I took out to dinner. DJ Nasty, I took out to dinner. DJ Pro Style, I took out to dinner. DJ Disco, I took out to dinner. And I'm talking about places like Fishbone. Mm-hmm. And I remember at 102 Jams, right? They played that song on the radio. I think it was Rich Girl by Hall & Oates. That was a sample. And I remember Cornell said, hey, let's send the station some bottles. So we found out Don Campbell and DJ Nasty, Strong, we found out what everybody drinks, right? We sent everybody bottles. We get to New York because we was on a tour on the Southeast all the way up to New York. We drove 18 hours in a van because we had a meeting with Corey Body on Wall Street, attorney for for Big Fish. And I remember DJ Nasty or DJ Strong called me up. And this is what, when you do for people, what they'll do for you. Hey man, do you mind we play the song 4 more times on the radio? I'm like, what? And they played the song on the radio for free. And we consider those BDS spins. So with that being said, man, if you want to ask somebody for something, do something for that person first. Pay it forward. And they'll do the same thing for you.
Pay it forward. Yeah, I like that.
Exactly.
Pay it forward.
Pay it forward. Man, that in a nutshell was it. This is how you say no and how you can learn actually to say no and learn how to still value yourself a little bit more and not spread yourself too thin, because you'll find that it's stressful for you. I mean, it's not going to be stressful for anybody else when you start spreading yourself thin, and you got to be there, you got to be over here. You're spreading yourself too thin, and now you're tired, you're depressed.
And you'll find yourself lying to people.
That.
You'll find yourself like I was lying to people because you're spreading yourself too thin.
Exactly.
Hey, you telling 5 different people the same thing and you ain't doing nothing for nobody.
Exactly.
Just be truthful. Just say yes or say no.
All right. So what did we learn from all this, man? What did we learn from this?
So every no is not a rejection, and every yes is a blessing.
Okay. I agree.
Does that make any sense?
That does make sense.
So when I tell you no, don't look at me and say, he's saying no to me. What's the why behind me saying no? Look at yourself in the mirror and you can ask yourself most of the time, 100% of the time, why is he saying no to me this time?
Who knows? It can be an opportunity for you to find the answers and find the means on your own, and you'll learn from it. So it's all a learning opportunity.
Yes.
Yeah. I learned don't be afraid to say no. Also, don't be afraid to say yes, though. It can expose you to a lot of things that you might find yourself fearful of, and you can realize that you can overcome that fear just by putting yourself in the situation. Also, I learned about the SARS thing. I didn't know about that till I walked in here today.
I didn't know about it until a couple of days ago. So, yeah.
Yeah, so I'm going to look into that a little bit more, but
so
good conversation.
Actually, I want to say this is, I know we're dealing with a lot of things here in the United States with police brutality and things of that nature. But our brothers and sisters from across the waters are dealing with things as well. Like this is a world that we're living in that's not fair. It's not always fair. And Nigeria is right now is dealing with something very similar to what we're dealing with, but it's probably, in my opinion, like 10 times worse. So if you know anybody from Nigeria, I don't know, pray for them. Hopefully things get better there. Hopefully things get better here as well. Hopefully things get better worldwide.
And vote.
Take action.
Early registration, October 19th. And voting date is November 3rd.
Yes. And our votes do matter, and they do count.
Don't just sit at the table. Be a voice at the table.
Be a voice.
Sir.
Take action. All right.
Yes, sir. Let me get 2 chest beats and a Ric Flair.
Because my actions, mine, all facts, no capping. Lie, wake up, stop napping. Wise, get up, it happens. Try, that's just a fraction. Pop, I don't stop trapping. Drop.